President Trump, to that latter point, has been asked, he was asked by Peter Doocy on Fox News this week about scientists and other people affiliated with science, and I'll look this up in a minute, but who have gone missing. And both the President and Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt have said the government is looking into that now. They're not sure if these cases are connected or not. You brought up Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. I quickly looked up this piece from ABC News from earlier this week. It said, Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas blasts progressivism as threat to America. He said values in the Declaration of Independence have fallen out of favor. This was on Wednesday. He delivered a televised broadside against progressivism, ABC says, a political philosophy he described as an existential threat to America and the principles that founded it 250 years ago. Thomas said progressivism seeks to replace the basic premises of the Declaration of Independence and hence our form of government, while speaking at the University of Texas Austin Law School, pegged to the nation's upcoming milestone birthday. A spirit of cynicism, rejection, hostility, and animus toward America by Americans has taken hold, Thomas said in remarks carried live right here on C-SPAN. So that's what one of the prominent justices was saying this week while on the road. Let's go now to Joe calling in from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma on the Democratic line. Good morning, Joe. What's your top story of the week?
Well, now that there's so many, I hear so many callers, you were talking about Clarence Thomas. Let's not forget, he was the one they caught taking the billionaire cash on people that had court rulings coming up. And not only was he taking the cash, he was hiding it. And then when they caught him, he started reporting some of it. It's outlandish money he's taken under the table. That's like vulture capitalism. So I would imagine he would be against things like everyone having health care. That would be progressive. So forget about him. He's corrupt. I did want to throw one thing in real quick about the Mexican border. And if you look it up, Trump didn't close the border. He threatened Mexico with tariffs, and they've got their troops keeping any immigrants from reaching our border. So that's really not the law, but anyway. And then on to the Iran situation with Israel. I think people need to do the 2+2. Jeffrey Epstein, his girlfriend, Ghislaine, who was getting all the girls, her father was Robert Maxwell. Everyone should look up Robert Maxwell, the billionaire from England, who was known to be working with the intelligence of not just the UK, but Israel, and you guessed it, Russia. Ghislaine was his daughter. He dropped off a boat, mysteriously died in '91, the same year she met Jeffrey Epstein. Well, did Epstein have any Israel connections? Yes, he met with Ehud Barak, look him up. He was their defense minister of Israel and the president. And they got together over 60 times, and every month during Trump's first run for president. So just think about it. Jeffrey Epstein taking videos and pictures of all the wealthy, powerful political people coming through his various locations. He's taking pictures. Those naughty pictures are in the hands of Israeli government and Russian government because Robert Maxwell was working for all these intelligence agencies. That's why when you really look at Trump's track record, he's pro-Israel to a fault, which is why we're in Iran right now, and why he's trying to get off, trying to let Russia just go ahead and roll over Ukraine. So the common sense thing is Israel, the Israeli government and the Russian government, they have the pictures, the videos. That's part of that 3 million documents they won't release. So as soon as those all come out, or we get the actual banking records, like from the Bank of New York Mellon, as soon as all these banking records come out, then the people will finally go, hey, I didn't get my, remember when Trump was going to send out the tariff checks? Did you get it? No, he was lying again. Did you get your Doge check? No, he was lying again. So stop saying you just wait, because by the time you figure out this is a big con by the Orange Caligula in the White House, you'll be joining the other side of the aisle just to bring sanity back. And I'm no Joe Biden fan, right, or any of those people, because they're too corporate as well. But I will say that inflation during Biden's time, it was global. Joe Biden had very little to do with that inflation, but he got the blame for it. So I'm just trying to kind of do a little education here.
Got your point, Joe, and I want to build on what you were claiming about Jeffrey Epstein. I pulled up this article from Al Jazeera from back in February. Their headline is, "What were Jeffrey Epstein's links to Israel? New documents show some believed the disgraced American financier had links to Israeli intelligence services and settler groups." I'll just read a couple lines from this. "The ties between disgraced U.S. financier Jeffrey Epstein and Israel are becoming clearer after the release of millions of documents related to the convicted sex offender by the United States Department of Justice following a years-long campaign. The documents have revealed more details of Epstein's interactions with members of the global elite, including former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak, but they also document his funding of Israeli groups, including Friends of the Israeli Defense Forces and the settler organization, the Jewish National Fund, as well as his ties to members of Israel's overseas intelligence services." Your point is something that a lot of Democrats, especially on Capitol Hill, have raised at various times, and in my last few weeks hosting here, a lot of callers have brought up concerns about President Trump's commitments to Israel and this Jeffrey Epstein story. So just wanted to dive a bit into that. Let's hear now from Angela calling in from Virginia on the Republican line. Good morning, Angela. You're on with us.
Yeah, well, thank you for taking my call. Yeah, that guy from Oklahoma, he just sounds like a crazy person to me. And you bringing up that whole Israel thing, that Epstein article up, because the bottom line is the Democrats had the Epstein files long before the Trump administration did. And I'm pretty sure they combed through every single letter of that file to see if there was anything that they could find proof that President Trump was doing something. The way that they came after him with the lawfare, do you actually think they would have had those Epstein files for 4 whole years and didn't comb through them and would not? And if there was something there that they could prove, they wouldn't have done it. So you all sound, you only try to convince yourselves and your silly followers, because they had it long before the Trump administration did, the files, the entire files. And everybody knows it. So all that they can do is now use it for innuendos just to try to say something about President Trump. That's all that is. And then secondly, I would rather have a president depicting himself as Christ. I would rather have a president doing that. And even though he didn't depict that, someone else did. He just posted it. But I would rather have a president depicting himself as Christ than to be affiliated with the reprobate mind people that will mutilate children, telling them that they can be boys and girls as they were born in the wrong body, all against the Lord. And your first caller from wherever he was from saying if any Christian and had anything about them, they wouldn't support President Trump. Well, then if we're not going to support President Trump, then what are we supposed to support? The reprobate mind people that tell little girls and boys that they were born in the wrong body, that God made a mistake. You want us to support that kind of nonsense? Or people that will kill an innocent baby sleeping in the mother's womb? You would rather us support that? So, you people have nothing to stand on. And as far as Israel and the United States, what is all this big thing about Israel and the United States? The United States has to have allies all over. So Israel can't be an ally because of why? Okay, so it sounds more like Jew hating to me, Zionist hating to me. So, as far as young man, are you a college graduate?
I am, yes.
Yeah, and that's my whole point, because it appears to me that people who have graduated from these colleges and universities are no more, the vast majority of you, are no more than trained Marxists.
Are you a college graduate, Angela?
No, I am not. I'm an autodidact.
Got it.
You all are trained Marxists. The vast majority, not all, but the vast majority of you are, because you're so against your own country.
So I'd love, Angela, if you don't mind, you raised several points there. I wanted to pull up this one Fox News article responding to your comments about the president's depiction of himself as Jesus on social media, because while the president did receive a good amount of criticism from members of his own base, he also got some support. This Fox News piece says, Franklin Graham defends Trump in letter shared on Truth Social after AI Jesus image backlash. Reverend Franklin Graham defended President Donald Trump in a statement shared Thursday on Truth Social after backlash over an image critics said depicted Trump as Jesus Christ. The statement was released Thursday by Graham and shared by the president as a signed letter. Fox says, I do not believe President Trump would knowingly depict himself as Jesus Christ. That would certainly be inappropriate, Graham wrote. He added that Trump believed the image showed him as a doctor, and so the president immediately removed the post after concerns were raised. So some defense there from some of the president's allies. You touched on a lot there, Angela. I appreciate you weighing in. Let's hear from John.